All right, everybody. Happy Monday to you all. This is February 5th, 2024. For all of my YouTube people, this is a pretty brief discussion. Try and make this a brief discussion here. If you're coming over from TikTok as a new person, or if you've been watching for a while, this is that longer video that we mentioned in the short TikTok that I posted here a little bit ago. Guys, we're going to get back to the conversation here on the California flash flooding event going on here in once again, as I explained on the video here, green shading here is a marginal risk of flash flooding. You've got four levels, green, yellow, red, and then purple. And so what that means, purple being the highest, this is basically kind of like a flash flood catastrophe that we've got going on here in Los Angeles, Riverside, Long Beach, Oceanside, Santa Clara area here. So this area right here in southwestern Cali, this is, all of Los Angeles, basically all the populated areas here in California are basically seeing widespread flash flooding. We've picked up anywhere from 4 to 5 inches of rainfall in most of these areas here, some a little bit less than that. And we're still continuing to see this southwesterly flow out of the Pacific Ocean, and this is going to continue for the next 24 to 48 hours. Most of this should start to die down by tomorrow night. It's just kind of one of those things where when the rain shuts off, we're done with it. We got a long ways to go here, and like I said and showed earlier in the video, this is going to be the amount of rain we have seen so far. Y'all are gonna have to bear with me here as I pull everything else up for you guys. We're still currently working on transitions with stuff, so no worries. But yeah, here you can clearly see we've actually got flash flood warnings in the yellow, or not the yellow, but in the green polygon here in the northern part of Los Angeles. Santa Clara is in that as well. These yellow pixels, the darker purples, are your 3 to 5 inch rainfall ranges. Could see a little bit lower in some of those closer to the beach, I would think. But the further north you go, the basically the worse it's going to be. We've got the Angeles mountain range here as well, Angelus mountain range here as well. So they're going to see a little bit more rainfall, but pretty much lighter as you go further north here. North of Santa Barbara, a lot lighter rainfall totals here, anywhere from that 1 to 3 inch range, really closer to 2 inches. Up here towards the San Jose area, we're around 1 to 3 inches, and then up here into San Francisco and Sacramento, we're in that 1 to 2 inch range as well. So the higher elevations clearly are the winners with the rainfall totals, but still in this area here, we really are can see flash flooding here within a 1 to 2, 3 inch range of rainfall. So a lot of rainfall falling, continuing to fall as well. We're gonna play this out here on the Futurecast so you guys can see this. I'm gonna pull the Triple HR model run up here for you guys. Get to the next frame here. But here we go, guys. This is the next 48 to 50-ish hours here. What we're looking at, I'd say more than 24 to 48 hours here. But continuing to watch the stream of rain coming in here out of Los Angeles, down here towards the San Diego area as well. It starts to shut off here towards San Francisco and Sacramento and Bakersfield. So less rainfall up there through the overnight hours. But it's just Los Angeles is just going to keep getting pummeled. And so we get to around tomorrow afternoon, around 3 or 4 o'clock-ish. It looks like we start to break some of these bands up. It's really just kind of isolated showers. The worst of it will probably be through the rest of tonight until early tomorrow morning, and then we start to maybe peek some sunshine out, hopefully a little bit here. Maybe we can start to dry a little bit of these things up, but we'll have more estimates in tomorrow's video on what totals completely were when all this is kind of said and done with, and then we'll start to focus on where this system is going to go next, and that is going to be up here into the Central Plains and eventually into the northern Midwest. And we're going to be talking about maybe some isolated snow showers up toward northern Wisconsin and Minnesota, a little bit of rain for the western Ohio Valley. And then after that, guys, we're going to start to talk about a cold blast potentially down the road for the middle of February and rounds of severe storms potentially for the Gulf of Mexico states again. And like I said, that cool down that'll start potentially for the end of February, middle to end of February, I should say. So let's go ahead and hop on over here really, really quickly for you guys. This is the European run. This is the latest European run as of lunchtime today. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this. Like I said, our low pressure for our atmospheric river is way up here in the northern part of California and western parts of Washington State. And so, like I said, we're continuing to stream in the motion of southwesterly winds here, producing that rainfall. Eventually, this, like I said, is going to skirt off here to the northeast. A lot of another conversation we did not mention. A lot of snow following here in the Sierra Nevadas, up here into the Cascades, up here into Washington State, into Oregon as well. All the higher mountain ranges here getting into the snowfall, which is going to help with the drought situation. If we were to have a drought this year in the summertime, the snowpack will help melt down a little bit, and we can get that water supply going if we needed water in some of the areas. Hopefully, we don't have any droughts this year, but that's just kind of where we get that snowfall to be used, is basically in the water supply during the summertime when we have situations like that going on. So our departing low system, our low pressure system that caused all of the tornadoes in Georgia and Florida yesterday, is going to be moving off here to the northeast into the open water, so that won't be a problem anymore. Really, for most of the week here in the United States, besides the West Coast here and the Rockies, the Colorado area here, really, besides you guys with the rain and the snow showers, it's gonna be pretty quiet for most people. And then we get to the weekend time frame, closer to that Thursday and Friday, and we start to see a low pressure system develop here potentially. And this is going to bring some isolated rain showers, maybe a low end to marginal severe weather threat. I've seen some of the National Weather Service conversations potentially pointing at that. A lot of cold air here on the West Coast. We're going to stay below average here on the west side. Very, very warm temperatures here, 60s and 70s and 50s for a lot of people here in the southeast, northeast, and Ohio valleys and down in the Gulf states as well. But like I said, as we get to the weekend here, that system up there could produce some, like I said, some rainfall, some snow up in South Dakota, North Dakota. It's really Saturday and Sunday. We watch this little tiny cold front kind of sneak through here with some isolated rain showers potentially for North Carolina, Virginia, maybe up there into Ohio a little bit as well, but nothing too crazy. Like I said, what's going to happen on Saturday here that potentially causes our next severe weather threat? And right now, we do not have any risk for severe weather in any of the day outlooks right now currently, but I think we're going to have to really watch closely here from maybe eastern Texas, Louisiana, southern Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, maybe even into Georgia again for this southwesterly flow. And we'll talk about the jet stream here in just a second, but we're getting winds out of the southwest that are continuing to help pull in Gulf of Mexico moisture, which is going to continue to keep our thunderstorm activity up tremendously for really until we get out of the subtropical jet stream that we're going to be seeing. And so another thing that we're going to notice here as well is very, very cold air coming down here from Canada, which is where that potential Arctic blast cool down is what we would call it right now, is a potential setup for the middle of February. And like I said, we'll show that here in just a little bit. But as we get into the Sunday time frame, overnight Saturday into Sunday, like I said, depending on what type of ingredients start to come together for this, uh, we could have some type of severe weather threat here, like I said, for Texas, maybe into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then snow on the northern side of this here potentially for the Four Corners once again, Texas Panhandle, Colorado, New Mexico, and a little bit of western Kansas there, potentially getting some snow on Sunday. That's a little far out, so we'll watch that. But we'll be really, really eyeing the severe weather chances once again here for the Gulf of Mexico states. As always, it seems like every weekend this year we've pretty much had some type of severe weather threat during the weekend. And so, like I said, this does not look too impressive yet right now, but maybe a dry line setup here. We are going to actually have some pretty decent instability values according to what the European and the GFS have been showing here over the last couple days. This will start to come more together as confidence increases here. But like I said, maybe a pretty decent snow chances here in Oklahoma and Kansas, maybe into northern Missouri here. But like I said, where that warm sector is here, potentially where that severe thunderstorm threat is. And like I said, on live stream on TikTok, we'll talk about this more throughout the week here. I will let everybody know in future videos and into the TikTok streams as well. Me and my significant other are actually going to be going to North Carolina back to go see my family this weekend. So if we have any severe weather, you guys probably will not have me to be being able to live stream as much. We might bring my laptop with me on Saturday night and see what's going to happen. But potentially, as of right now, we may not be doing anything if we get any severe weather. And it typically looks like we could have that set up once again this weekend. So once we get past this weekend and into Valentine's week, this will be Monday the 13th. There's still a lot of questions on what's going to happen. Potentially a pretty decent snowstorm up here in the Great Lakes. You really start to see that cold air start to filter in here out of Canada. This is going to be the conversation as we go towards the middle of February. How much colder, where the temperature is going to start to dip down out into the 30s and 40s again and 20s. Could we start to see maybe a southeast snowstorm setup according to what the GFS run is potentially starting to throw out for the last week of February? There's still a lot of things to work out with the models here. But I just want to give you guys that conversation because there are other people talking about it. One, the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the National Weather Service has got the lower 48 in the southeast in a below average setup. And so what that means is for my snow lovers in the southeast and the northeast and the Ohio Valley that have not had a lot of snow this year, that could bring a setup potentially for some snow. And it's something we're really going to watch closely as we go towards the end of February. and towards March, because we do get bigger snowstorms in March too. We've had some major snowstorms in areas in March before. So this is the active jet stream, 300 millibar jet stream here. This is what controls our highs, our lows, our winds aloft in the atmosphere, very, very high up. And so our departing storm system over here out of Florida, that, like I said, that caused all the tornadoes and severe weather yesterday, is finally moving. There's our big dip in the jet stream right now that we've got going on with this atmospheric river. Very, very strong southwesterly flow here. This is actually going to level out as the low pressure system moves off to the east here, and we could, like I said, see some rainfall up here into the Illinois, Indiana, southern Michigan area here as well, potentially, and into Wisconsin. We'll watch for maybe a marginal risk of severe weather, maybe at some point up there closer where that cold front is. I don't really see that being much of an issue right now. Very, very much lacking in the instability category for that. Low pressure system, very, very negatively tilted though. Potentially, like I said, some rain showers and some snow up there. It's really, like I said, the story is going to be with this system set up down here. Very, very strong southwesterly flow going out of the Gulf of Mexico here. And what this typically does is it pulls up a lot of moisture here out of the Gulf. Very, very high dew points in the upper 60s potentially here to low 60s. This is going to set the stage, like I said, for some rainfall, some heavy rainfall, some severe storms potentially this weekend here. And then as we get into next week, that Monday, Tuesday time frame, according to the GFS run here, we could see another low pressure system dip out of here. This could be that severe weather again. And then we get to the last frame here of the European run. And here's that cold Arctic air. You can start to see that high pressure system spinning up here into northern part of Canada. There's our low dipping down here with the potential setup for some very, very cold weather here in the southeast. And we'll look at the temperature outlook here in just a minute as well. I really want to show you guys the temperature anomaly forecast here so far for the European model, what the European model is showing as of now. We'll go to the GFS here in a second. But, you know, very, very above average temperatures ongoing right now. We've had that for a while, but that'll start to move northeast a little bit. And there it comes. There's those below average temperatures starting to sink down potentially next week. And we could start to see that cold air return once again into the southeast here. And then, you know, we'll have to really, really watch out, as I mentioned in my TikTok video, right over here into the Central Plains. That cold air pocket really starting to move in here after Valentine's Day. So this would be like a 2-week out kind of situation that we're looking at. But model confidence really starting to come together that we're going to see some type of Arctic air move in once again, guys. I don't think this is going to be close to what we saw at the beginning of January, but it could have some snowfall chances for a lot of people that love that snow. Another thing I'll show you guys as well, what we're looking at here in the runs for severe weather down here in the southeast potentially. There's not, like I said, a outlook yet or a setup for it by the National Weather Service or SPC yet. But like I said, we're going to have to hone in once again down here in the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of Mexico states again, and potentially going to see some severe weather into Saturday and Sunday. And there's that instability plume. You know, this time of year, values anywhere from 500 joules per kilogram up typically is enough to sufficiently support severe weather. And we're starting to get that here once again into northern Texas, southern Oklahoma. Really, really explodes here as that storm system really intensifies on Sunday and Saturday night. So we've really got to watch here for central and eastern Texas for that storm threat now on our Sunday. So that could cause some issues here for you guys, and that'll move northeast. We'll get our instability to go east a little bit, and typically this storm system kind of fizzles out as it moves east on Monday and Tuesday. That's the conversation for now, and then we could have another storm potentially brewing that next week. The GFS run, really, really quickly, we're just going to kind of look long-term out and see what we could be dealing with. This is not set in stone at all, guys. You guys know that anything really 5 to 7 days out is you take it with a grain of salt. And so here's that system once again on the GFS run as well, compared to the European run. A little bit more weaker than what the European run is showing. Very, very disorganized thunderstorms and showers. Really just light rain here up and down the southeast and Ohio Valley. And then that system pushes out here into the weekend, and then we start to get that severe weather set up, that low pressure. Really, really digs in here. Like I said, we could see a pretty decent shot at maybe some severe weather here into the southeast. We've really got to watch this one. We'll post more about that in the future updates from day to day here going forward. And then the GFS really past, next weekend and into Valentine's week here. That cold air lingering up there up north, potentially. Rounds and rounds of showers and storms here for the southeast. And then here's the question mark. And this is really kind of 2 days in that I've seen the GFS start to do this is we start to bring that cold air down a little bit closer here. Like I said, the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook does have the southeast and the Texas and Gulf of Mexico states in below average temperatures. And so we can go ahead and start this here on Saturday the 17th, about 12 days out from now. Potentially some snow showers here. Still very, very far away out. But anytime we start to get that cold air to sink in from the north and we get these Gulf storms to form, you can get a southeast blizzard. You can, yeah, not a blizzard, but a southeast winter storm. And typically one or two of these happen, annually once a year in the southeast. And so, back at home where I used to live, Western North Carolina, this is what you would want to see here in the mountains and up the Appalachian Trail here if you want to see snow. You want to see a Gulf low with some cold air sinking in. But right now, I'm not too convinced with this system setup yet. Like I said, this is still 2+ weeks out in advance. We'll have to have some really, really decent cold air actually come in and stay here, not move out before the system moves in. So we'll watch that pretty closely here. We'll have more on that in future updates if that continues to be a thing. But as far as that goes, guys, the temperatures are going to be the bigger conversation as we go forward throughout the next couple of days and into the next couple of weeks. I think really throughout February here. We'll start this at the 11th. So after this weekend into Monday, you'll start to see that warm air take off to the east. Cold air start to build up there in the Canada and the up into Canada, and past that 18 to 20 day. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong run. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. I do that a lot sometimes. As we get past that 14-day window, there's still a big question mark on how much cold air is going to filter in here. You can really start to see those below average temperatures down here in the southeast. That's what we'll be watching past the 15th and 16th of February. And really, like I said, and past that point as well, potentially Texas being colder and down here to the southeast. So other than that, guys, we got a lot to watch here into the rest of the month of February. I'm gonna start to once again figure out my predictions for the severe weather season for March, April, May, and June. And then another conversation we're going to start to bring up as well, the oscillation models, what basically shows El Nino, La Nina, all that stuff. We are starting to see very, very strong trends in La Nina returning midsummer, and that could mean an interesting hurricane season, an uptick potentially in hurricane season. But we're going to have more on that later on as we start to discuss that when we have not a lot of stuff going on. So other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave the video at this here. I appreciate you guys for watching as always. If you did follow from TikTok, make sure you subscribe here. We're really trying to build this channel up here. 500 subscribers is our goal right now. Just hit the button, click it, like the video, and you're good to go. But other than that, guys, I will see y'all in tomorrow's video. Appreciate you guys for watching. Stay safe, and I will see y'all later.